Good morning, you strange and wonderful weirdos. I'm John.
I'm Stacey.
It's Friday, the TGIF edition of our beautiful little show here, and it's November 11th.
11/11.
11/11. You know what that means? That's why today's strange.
All right, so let's start with our first story. And this is about the first patient with a new mind-reading device that uses brain signals to write. Yes,
What's it going to write? What I'm thinking?
Yes, whatever he's thinking. So this is a new study.
Oh, boy.
That
I've
used
been waiting for this day.
A man who developed paralysis and lost his ability to speak following a stroke can now communicate using a system that translates his brain's electrical signals into individual letters that allows him to craft whole words and sentences in real time. Now, he did have to have surgery to have the electrodes implanted in his brain. But what happens is the device receives signals from the electrodes that are implanted in his brain. The man silently tries to say code words. They use the NATO phonetic alphabet, alpha for A, Bravo for B. So whatever letter he wants to type on the screen, he'll think about like he's trying to say that word, even though he can't. And the brain activity that produces, the system can read that and types the word for him, or the letter for him. Basically, it has about a 6% error rate, so it's pretty accurate. And he can do about 29 characters a minute, so about 7 words a minute, roughly. I mean, it's not speedy. And then when you get to the end of whatever you want to type, you try to close your right hand, even though, he's paralyzed. He can't, but he does the brain activity that would close his right hand, and that signals the device that he's done with his sentence. And they're getting great results out of this.
That's awesome. So can they put this in somebody when they don't want it? Like, are we close to that?
I don't think that's something, I don't know how they would manage to, it's not like they can sneak up and just like insert it on your brain.
What if he forgets to turn it off? It's always in there, right? So
yeah,
he's just having a bad day.
On his brain. Well, you have to, I think he thinks about the words to cuss. I don't know what the NATO phonetic alphabet it is for the letters in a cuss word, like for F, U.
It's just a police thing, right? Like
Alpha.
Charlie Bravo.
Yeah, Charlie Bravo. That.
Yeah.
Now, this same man participated in another test a year ago with a different device, but that device was set on a vocabulary of 50 words, and he had to think about an actual word. So it was a little more limiting. So this is a much better system.
Oh, yeah, this is great.
And they're saying that he is the first participant in the Brain-Computer Interface Restoration of Arm and Voice, or BRAVO trial.
Okay.
That doesn't work out. Brain-Computer Interface Restoration. That anagram doesn't.
Maybe he wrote this.
Bravo. That's not how those work. You can't just pick and choose whatever letter you want. I don't know. Anyway, it's being conducted at UC San Francisco, and they're hoping to start testing it out on other people.
I bet they are. Well, that's a terrible idea for anyone who's ever been a free thinker. And it's great for the mutes.
He can't talk or the what? He can't talk or move, so I guess it's a good way he can communicate. Do you think you need one? Oh, I'm gonna wait. Who do I contact? I need to sign you up.
I'll tell you who needs one. Unfortunately, who doesn't need one is the problem. Moving on.
All right, moving on. So let's talk about Pennsylvania. So a Democrat was reelected by a landslide in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania State Representative, Democrat Anthony or Tony DeLuca. He's the longest serving state representative. He received nearly 86% of the vote, beating out Green Party candidate Quinonia Livingston.
How would you like to be that Green Party candidate right now?
Yeah, so it just so happens that Mr. DeLuca did pass away last month. He was 85. He died on October 9th. And
Strange thing is, they say his cousin's been in office for 20 years in Chicago.
They claim that when he passed, it was too late to change the ballot or put forth another candidate, an entire month.
Too late.
Before the election, they couldn't, it was like set in stone or something. So this isn't the first time that a candidate has won posthumously, but in Pennsylvania, they have to do like a special election. I think the last time this happened, it was in another state like Nevada or something where they were able to just put someone in his place from that party. It wasn't such a
landslide last time. It was a dead heat, they said.
Some people blame low voter awareness, like people just picked the name because they knew it. I mean, clearly he'd been in the House of Representatives for them for like 39 years. I mean, if you voted for him that many times, you'd just vote for him again.
They shouldn't be able to go that long.
It shouldn't. And I feel like a month is plenty of time to fix the ballot. Like, at least put on there that he's deceased or put somebody else in there.
I think it doesn't matter.
Have her run unopposed. How bad would you feel if you lost that badly?
I don't think I'd run again.
No, I probably wouldn't either.
Some stiff competition.
What kind of speech did she have to make? A concession speech.
That's probably a little funny, but deadpan.
Yeah, okay. We're going to move on so we can get away from the puns now. All right, this next story is about a Japanese company that has launched a new product. So Japanese convenience store chain Lawson have recently launched a rather intriguing new product, flavorless candy.
What?
Yes, candy with no flavor at all. They call it tasteless candy. They say it tastes of emptiness. I guess that's the marketing.
Tastes like my soul.
Now, they claim on the package that it only has 2 ingredients in the candy: synthetic sugar substitute, polydextrose, and organic sugar substitute, erythritol. Those are the only 2 ingredients.
Erythritol.
They've taken all the flavor out of it.
Oh.
And now the people that wrote this article, they never tried it, but they did say that some guys at Sora News 24 got their hands on some and tried it to do a taste test and were extremely surprised by how flavorless it was. Now, of course, it has to taste like something, but they did say there was a very faint aroma that they compared to an extremely watered down sports drink, and that there was some sweetness to it because it is made of sugar, but for the most part, it does not have any flavor at all.
You silly Japanese. Always take it from the Americans. Do you not understand? We've had flavorless gum for years. It's called Fruit Stripe. Right after the first minute of chewing.
It tastes like nothing.
After 1 minute chewing, it's emptiness.
I think you're lucky to get a minute out of it. I used to chew that when I was a kid. I'd chew a whole pack in a day because I'd just chew it and then I'd spit it out.
It goes from being the best thing you've ever, ever had in your mouth to nothing. It's like sex.
I didn't. Is it? I didn't like the yellow, though.
No, it's not like sex at all.
Okay.
Like nothing like sex. It's nothing like sex. What were you going to say? Hurry. What was it?
I didn't like the yellow Fruit Stripe gum. I only like the other flavors.
Was there yellow?
There was a yellow. I didn't like it. I just left it in the pack. Yes. So tasteless candy, it's on trial right now. If customers like it, they can vote. Keep it around.
It's on a trial right now.
Yes, it's on a trial.
It's not actually on trial right now.
No. This is
I swear to God, I had nothing to do with it. I'm just a food.
One of Japan's largest convenience store chains. It's called Lawson. And they do this a lot. They make new products and then they let customers try it. And if customers really like it, they'll keep it. And if they don't, they'll put it on trial, I guess. And they'll get rid of it. Tasteless candy. Why would somebody eat tasteless candy? Like, what would be I guess if you just wanted to, like, your throat was sore maybe or something?
I don't know. If I had to make you a surprise dinner.
Right.
And I had to pick between spicy jalapeno, ranchy barbecue, and the tasteless.
Right.
I'd go tasteless.
There's a difference between bland and tasteless.
Not much.
I just don't like spicy stuff.
No, you don't.
All right, let's move on.
All
right, so this next story is about a T-Rex skull that was unearthed in South Dakota, is going to be auctioned off next month in New York.
I didn't know they sold those.
I didn't either. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
I was so surprised.
Not quite that crazy, but it's crazy.
Tyrannosaurus Rex skull. I'm very excited about the
Obviously.
skulls. It was unearthed in South Dakota. They believe in 2020 or 2021.
They don't know when they did it?
It was, I guess it took
a long time
a
to
long
pull it
time
out.
to get it out. It says it was excavated in 2020 and 2021 in Harding County, South Dakota. A lot of other T-Rex skulls have been found there. Sotheby's head of science and popular culture claims that the area is the world capital for T-Rexes.
Ah.
Now, this one is being auctioned off by an anonymous owner. They don't want anyone to know who they are. They've nicknamed the skull foxhole Maximus. It's 200 pounds, 6.5 feet long. It's about 76 million years old.
Wow.
And it is almost completely intact. It has the teeth. Most of the outer bones are there. It is just the skull. Now, the rest of the T-Rex, when they found the skull, the rest of the T-Rex had already been pretty disintegrated and pretty gone. But the skull was almost intact. And there are 2 large puncture holes in the skull that are evidence that this T-Rex had a big fight at some point in its life. They don't know if that's what killed it.
Or brain surgery.
But it does look like one of the two. Yes,
Yeah.
that it either had some, brain modification done or, another T-Rex bit it in the head. One of the two. But they expect it to sell for $15 million or more. But they claim that it is just the perfect size to display in your home. You can't display a whole dinosaur. Why not just the skull?
Do you really want the potential ghost of a T-Rex? I mean, as far as ghosts go,
Right.
we're not really screwed around with many dinosaur ghosts that we know of.
This is true.
But do you want to be the first? I think it would look good in Zach Bagans' museum.
Yes, I believe it would. And it
'Cause-
might end up there. You never know.
Because I just want that episode next Halloween.
The T-Rex skull.
We didn't know what hauntings were until I brought the T-Rex skull home. We're not sure if the demon took over the skull in 2020 or 2021. It's somewhere between there. That's what we keep getting on the devices. But regardless, the mysterious benefactor who sold this was actually a witch doctor. That's right. You ask which doctor? The T-Rex doctor.
Oh, wow.
He sends bees after people. They get on their hands. I'm sorry. Anyway, continue.
It's okay. The shows are all bleeding over. All right, last story. You ready?
Oh, God.
This is a story from Ripley's Believe It or Not.
I don't.
I love when they write stories about interesting things because they're so crazy. It's about German artist Werner Hartl. Okay. And he creates intricate paintings celebrating Bavaria's rural heritage while using a
like cheese.
surprising medium. He paints in cow dung. So, his artworks are all monochromatic. They resemble sepia photographs. They're very rich in detail. He is an extremely talented artist. It just so happens that he uses cow dung as his medium, and he first happened upon the idea while working as a farmhand. And after collecting and bringing home a container of liquid cow dung, he experimented with it, using it on various surfaces. He's just painting around his house with it. Watercolor paper, canvases, metal, wood, plastic. And soon he started crafting incredible artworks portraying some of Germany's most beautiful landscapes. Gross. So they asked him, and they said, the obvious question, do your paintings smell like cow manure? And he said that when it's wet and he's painting it, it does smell a bit funky, but once it's dry, you can't smell it at all.
Second question. Was there corn around when you started painting?
And he asks what steps he takes, to turn it into paint. And he said that he fetches the cow droppings with a canister. As soon as they lift their tail, he's there waiting. And he said 2 bowel movements is enough to keep him painting for about 6 months. Like, it goes pretty far. And he'll take it, he'll water it down. And the more he waters it down, that's how he gets different shades of brown for his paintings. And he'll use very watered down for light shades and dung with no water mixed in at all for like the very dark shades. And he'll scribble it on dry sometimes, and sometimes he'll paint with it wet. And the paintings are very beautiful, but I could never, ever touch one.
And people buy this.
I don't know. It didn't say they were for sale or not. Maybe. It's very interesting. He is a very good artist. I wish he would paint with something that's not
shitty.
Yeah.
You know what? Happy weekend. And that's why Today is strange.